Hello guys, okay, I'm going to show you how to get the Witcher Bear School gear. This is the Ursine gear, and you start off basically in this location. I'm just going to show you where it is. It's in the Skellige Isles. That's the main Skellige Isle. I think it's Ard Skellige, and this is the small island you're on now. When you're in this place, Unala Harbour, you can take that path that looks like the most direct path to get to the gear, but I would go on this one here, the one on the outside. Basically, if you try and go on that path I first showed you, you're going to come a cropper, you're going to fall down, get very frustrated, so save yourself some time and follow this path. I would set a marker, just as I did there, just to make sure that when you get to this point, all you need to do is turn left, but don't, so you don't overshoot or you don't go too soon, and take this path down to the left. The first thing you're going to come across is a white bear, polar bear I guess, and it's a pretty big beast, but not too difficult to beat. As you can see, I didn't lose much health in the battle here. Job done, guy's dead. Next thing you come across, this is the first time I came across one of these guys. It's a rock troll. They are pretty beastly, and I didn't really find any of my my skills were actually would best it. So I just had to batter away at it as much as I could. Hit it from the back, that's the best way. Use the dodge and get around behind it. Meditate and save the game as you go. As you get to this point, you don't really want to be doing that bit again, just in case you die. So I would definitely do that. And watch out. This part of the quest involves a lot of jumping, a few leaps of faith. And it's pretty tricky. It's probably the trickiest of all the Witcher gear so far that I've had to find. And there you go, there's this guy down dead here. You can see you have got a pool of harpies above you, a huge amount of them, and I had to fight them on this sort of narrow rock crevice, or whatever you call it, a narrow rock structure. And I got stuck on the ledge there for a second. I couldn't backtrack. That's the problem when you're in combat mode. It's difficult to control how you jump. You can't really do it. At least I don't think you can come out of combat mode just to get away. So a couple of things to do is you can use I think it's the what's the sign? Yeah, the Axie sign, which will sort of stun them. But once they're stunned in mid-air, they just stay still. So you could use your crossbow, or you could use your Axie, your Igni sign here, which will bring them flailing towards you in a ball of flames and just takes them out that way. Or again, use your crossbow, as I said a minute ago, to take them out. It's another way that's fairly efficient to take these guys out. Now I'm using the cat gear here. As you can see, I'm wearing the cat gear, at least the armor. I seem to be wearing some different kind of trousers with the pants on the outside. I do apologize for that. It wasn't my choice. They just were stronger than the trousers I had on at the time. So follow this path up the side of the mountain. Remember, you've got to take a little run up at each of these where you need to grab and jump and grab onto a ledge ahead of you. Again, save the game as you go. It's definitely a safer thing to do. If you do die, if you drop down there, you could die. So it's well worth saving as you go. So at least when you respawn, you come back in the location you were just at. So again, follow this path around. Now just about here I wasn't quite sure which way to go. As you can see, I'm moving the camera around, but the only way that looks like there's any kind of building or any structure is down here. Looks like a one-way trip because you slide down, and I doubt you can come back up the other way. So it was a bit of a leap of faith, as I say. And now this one is a long jump, so make sure you take a good run up at it, and you'll enter this archway straight ahead of you. Keep going, and you want to enter that door to the right there. I think I just spent a little bit of time here just finding out what was going on, because there is actually a path up to your left, which I will come back to in a bit. So I've just taken all the loot that's around. I think I meditated in a second as well and saved the game, and I meditated so much that I got some daylight, so I was getting a bit bored of it being dark and stormy, so I wanted to get some sunlight on the game. Follow the path through to the left here, and you can see you've got a spiral staircase down, so follow this down. Yep, keep going until you come to this room. This room is no way to the left, but if there's a corridor straight ahead of you. Now there are these doors, these gates. They look like prison cells, and you'll notice that you cannot open them. They are completely locked. But we'll come back to that in a second as well. There's a wraith, but once you get right to the end of this corridor, don't go up the stairs or anything, get to the end of this corridor, there's a switch, and what that switch will do is open those locked doors that you couldn't get through before, and it releases a couple of more wraiths, which you've got to take out. Again, use the magic trap against these guys. I think that works, but I reckon they're so low level. By the time you get here, you're probably high level enough. They're quite easy to beat. Now, go to the end door on the right, and you can see the pattern on the map there, exactly which one you need to go to, and it will drop you down into this chasm, this cave system, directly below the corridor you were just in. Follow the path down. You've got an option to go left, but there is nothing that way, so head right, keep going, and climb your way up to this particular point here. You'll come over a rock face. You can climb over this rock face and drop into this rather stately looking room with a throne at the end of it. Now that's obviously of some kind of importance, because in this box here is exactly where you are going to find the Ursine armor, the bear armor, the boots, the gauntlets, and the trousers. This is the first of the set of gear, the 4 out of 7. You can see on the right hand side we've managed to get our first part of the Ursine armor, the bear armor. Fantastic, great. I will show you the next bit. There's 3 more items to get, and there's a couple of tips along the way, so make sure you read the letter, the ballad, as you saw there, and it will reveal the next location you need to get to. Now you can see there are 2 points on the map. Where you are, actually keep climbing upwards. I know I mentioned that way up before, and it will take you up to a place of power, but also a fast travel point that will take you here. This is the place where I went first. You'll come to a snowy ledge. You can skid your way down, or almost ski, and you'll find yourself at the opening of a cave just by the shore here. Keep walking through, and as he says, yeah, it stinks of carrion and necrophages. There's a few drowners here, and I'd say use the Igni on the drowners just to sort of stun them. Do what you like, really. There's a couple of ways of killing these guys, but if you come to this boat, you've gone too far, so turn around and go back. And that's because at the beginning, as you came in through the entrance of the cave, you could have turned right and come up to this ledge. Again, take a jump. Oh, you could have jumped, I fell. But that's okay, at least you know you won't die. And you come to this part. That's the pathway down below that you would have been going onto, and you can see a few more drowners ahead of you. But you have to jump right across that gap onto the other side. I think I was just checking here on the map. I was heading in the right direction. At least I was pointing in the right direction to get the next part of the Witcher gear, the bear's gear. So jump right across, and there's some loot lying on the ground on what looks like a dead skeleton, dead body. Again, there you go. So done that. Read the letter you get, and you'll be and you can then come to this location. This is sort of a ruined castle, and there are some very difficult enemies to take on here. As you can see, we've got a couple of the oh wow, what are those things called? Anyway, they're flying gargoyles, whatever they are. Very, very difficult. They slam attack you and they stun you. They're the gargoyles. They're very, very tricky to beat. There's 2 of them, but there's also an ice giant thing, which I was too powerful for me. So here I was cowering behind the wall, and noticed just behind me there was something to open, and here it is. So you didn't need to actually take any of those guys on. And here you find the diagram for the silver sword as part of the Witcher gear. And again, you get another letter. Read it. Make sure you read the letters, because that's the way you get to the next point. And it will take you, or at least show you, the way to get to this location in Skellige, which isn't far away from the fast travel point if you've already unlocked it. So keep going. You'll come to this sort of broken down wooden house. It looks collapsed. You need to use the Ard skill here, the Ard sign, and that will blast open your path downstairs to get to the next part. There's a couple of wraiths to take on, but you should be able to defeat those pretty easily. Now, once you've done that, you've got 2 rooms to go into. Go into the second room. That's just an arrest warrant. Go into the second room, and you will find your final item, the 7th item of the Witcher gear, the Bear School Witcher gear. And take these diagrams to an armourer or a blacksmith of your choice. Of course, they have to be high enough level. Once you created them, here you go. So once you created them, here we go. The Ursine steel sword is maximum 177 damage. It's by far the most powerful Witcher gear at base level so far. The silver sword, 297 damage, and make a note of the buffs. Ursine armor, 120 level armor. That's pretty strong. But make note, you only have to be sort of level 17 to open these. The gauntlet's 39 armor, but you've got all these resistance. The boots 43, absolutely spot on. They're pretty powerful, and the trousers, the lovely trousers, which you can't see because the armor itself has got a very long sort of cloak. And the crossbow. Now the crossbow, I actually didn't realise you had to be level 29 to get, and as you can see, I'm only 23. But that is the bear gear. That's how to find it. I hope it helped you guys. Certainly the locations, and there's a couple of tricky parts and things you don't need to do necessarily to get the armor. So please hit the like button if that was helpful, or just if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new. Thank you very much, guys. I'll be back soon with more from The Witcher 3. Thanks and good night.